Hello, I'm Benjamin Limmer, Bureau Chief for Public Transportation at the Connecticut Department of Transportation. And I'd like to welcome you to Along the Lines, a podcast series where we'll share exciting news and updates and explore current issues and ideas on Connecticut's public transportation system. Happy New Year. 2024 was a busy year at the Connecticut DOT. In this special episode of Along the Lines, I'd like to take a few moments to highlight some of the many successes that we are so proud of. The new parking garage at the Stuart B. McKinney Transportation Center in Stamford officially opened in February, which does provide over 900 parking spaces, enhancing sustainable travel with 92 electric vehicle charging stations. The facility does also accommodate bicycles, over 100 bicycles, and it also does include 50 e-bike charging stations. Meanwhile, the original parking structure is set to be transformed into a transit-oriented development, poised to drive further economic growth in Stamford and beyond. On the same day as the garage was opening, the Connecticut DOT unveiled the Stamford Transportation Center Master Plan. This comprehensive plan outlines both short and long-term recommendations to improve multimodal connectivity to expand and modernize Connecticut's busiest rail station. Stay tuned for more on that on an upcoming podcast episode that will go into the details. Then in March, we introduced a significant expansion of bus services across central Connecticut and Stamford, enhancing connectivity and access for all residents. New routes were added to serve New Britain, Berlin, Meriden, Plainville, Southington, and Stamford, while paratransit services were added to serve Berlin, Meriden, Plainville, Southington, and Darien. This expansion, proposed by Governor Lamont, supported by the Connecticut legislature in the biennial budget, represents a critical investment in public transportation. The new routes play a vital role in increasing employment, education, and training opportunities for residents in the expanded service areas. On March 26th, one of our partners, the Norwalk Transit District, launched its new microtransit service as part of a statewide pilot program. This initiative, funded to support 9 transit districts and municipalities, aims to develop innovative but flexible transportation solutions. In April, microtransit services were introduced in Enfield, East Windsor, Groton, New London, Stonington, Derby, Shelton, Milford, and Trumbull. By May, more services were launched in Waterford, Madison, Guilford, and parts of East Hampton and Middletown. Stamford followed with the introduction of microtransit in November, and New Haven's program is set to launch very soon, so stay tuned on that as well. To learn more about microtransit, you of course can visit a previous podcast episode. It was number 44 on this topic, which was released in March. Also in March, in a move heralded by residents and local officials, we announced the renaming of the former Fairfield Metro Station, which is now called the Fairfield Black Rock Station, to really highlight the community being served by the rail station itself. And of course, on Earth Day, April 22nd, we launched the Drive Less Connecticut Climate Challenge campaign, aimed at combating climate change by highlighting the collective impact that we can all have utilizing the state's robust public transportation network. The challenge ran through May 31st and saw incredible participation this year, with over 700 participants logging over 13,000 trips. Together, these efforts helped eliminate over 400,000 pounds of harmful emissions from our air. Additionally, 1,000 trees will be planted as a result of the challenge. Of course, we would like to thank everyone who participated out there and helped make a positive impact on our state. Also in April, we celebrated the return of service for the historic Connecticut River ferries. Everyone loves the ferries, right? This was a special year as we celebrated a birthday, the 75th anniversary of the Selden III, the historic vessel that serves the Chester Headline Ferry. To honor this milestone, we dedicated an episode of this podcast to the rich history of the Selden III. So, of course, be sure to check out episode 46, released in June, to learn more about this remarkable piece of Connecticut's maritime and transportation heritage. In May, during National Bike Month, of course, the Connecticut DOT celebrated the grand opening of the Putnam Bridge Trail Connection, providing non motorized access across the Connecticut River between Glastonbury and Wethersfield. This new convenient connection allows people to get to work, explore local shops or restaurants, or just enjoy a scenic and recreational activity without the need for a car. Over the Memorial Day weekend, Connecticut River Ferry customers were able to purchase fares via smartphones for the first time. Building on the success of this technology with CT Transit and CT Fast Track, we were excited to offer this option just in time for the busy tourist season. The response was overwhelmingly positive. On June 27th, we released a 2024 Customer Experience Action Plan Progress Report showcasing our ongoing efforts to improve transit across the state. The report provides updates on the original 26 actions outlined in the plan and introduces three new initiatives aimed at further improving the customer experience. To learn more about the plan, of course, check out episode 51 of this podcast, which was released in November. In July, we announced that the Connecticut DOT received a $38.9 million grant from the Federal Transit Administration to purchase 46 new battery electric buses and install 29 chargers for the CT Fast Track bus rapid transit system. The grant will help the conversion of CT Fast Track into an all electric bus fleet. We also celebrated the grand opening of the new Northwest Connecticut Transit District facility in Torrington to serve as the new transit hub with the necessary infrastructure to store as well as charge a future fleet of battery electric buses. On August 18th, parts of our state experienced historic rainfall and flooding, with some receiving up to 16 inches of rain in under 8 hours. This extreme weather caused two major washouts along the Waterbury branch line, one near Beacon Falls and the other near Seymour. The washout in Seymour near the Kinneytown Dam was very severe, measuring approximately 85 feet long, 60 feet wide, and 22 feet deep. This resulted in the need to replace all trains on that line with buses. As a result, train service on the line had to be temporarily replaced with buses. Restoring the line was no small feat, but thanks to the dedication and hard work of Connecticut DOT staff, Metro North crews, and O&G Industries, train service on the Waterbury branch was fully restored on October 28th. On October 7th, many of our Shoreline East customers were excited to hear the news about the return of direct service between Stamford and New London. These through trains, as they're called, were discontinued during the COVID 19 pandemic, and we were thrilled to announce their return to service. We heard the feedback loud and clear, and we're glad to be able to bring back the trains everyone's been asking for. Also in October, we launched the Tap and Ride pilot program, enabling customers to pay for their bus fares by simply tapping a Visa or MasterCard, debit or credit card, or a mobile wallet and contactless payment readers. This innovative system is now available on River Valley Transit and CT Transit Meriden buses. This pilot program represents a significant step forward in modernizing public transportation in Connecticut, offering customers a fast, seamless, and secure way to quickly pay as well as board the bus. In November, the weekday substitute bus service on the Hartford line between Hartford and Springfield, Massachusetts, came to an end. The busing was necessary, though, because of the Windsor Lock Station construction and the track improvement project in that area. This important work will result in enhanced customer accessibility, increased train speed and capacity, as well as grade crossing improvements. On November 15th, we announced that the Federal Railroad Administration is awarding Connecticut nearly $300 million for critical statewide railroad improvements. These grants will go to fund the replacement of 88 catenary structures, the installation of 4 new rail crossovers, and the replacement of the Longbrook Avenue Bridge along a 3-mile segment of the New Haven rail line. Track upgrades, including 6.7 miles of double tracking on the Hartford line through West Hartford, Hartford, Windsor, and Windsor Locks. The grant also included planning studies for replacing the 117-year-old Connecticut River rail crossing in Windsor Locks and the 120-year-old Coscob movable bridge over the Mianus River in Greenwich. A planning study for a new Hartford train station and multimodal hub, including realignment and double tracking of the 2.1 miles of the Hartford line in downtown Hartford, was also included. This stems from the Greater Hartford Mobility Study that we did discuss in episode 48 of this podcast, which was published in August. These investments mark a major step in modernizing and enhancing rail service throughout Connecticut. Woo, what a year it has been. So, what's in store for 2025? There's so much more to come. Here's just a sampling of what we have going on and what we are undertaking to make our public transportation system the best in the country. First off, earlier this year, the Bureau of Public Transportation completed their first strategic plan in several years. It's called Keep Connecticut Moving, and really the goal is to modernize our mission, our vision, and our strategic goals that we are working on. We are centering all of our efforts on 2025 and beyond on developing a dynamic workforce, optimizing the organization to deliver both service as well as capital projects. We're looking to fortify strategic partnership, both within the transportation field, but also outside of the transportation field. And then, of course, we're looking to promote long-term viability. As we look to the future, both bus and rail ridership are very strong. Bus ridership in many locations has exceeded pre-pandemic levels, while rail ridership is recovering very strongly, including reaching over 80% pre-pandemic ridership levels on the New Haven line. As I look towards the bus system, we're working on a lot of things. As part of the bus stop enhancement program, you're going to see new deployments in Hamden, Bridgeport, Stamford, Middletown, and Danbury. And we will continue to prioritize the stops for a 4-year rollout of more bus stop enhancements, which does include shelters throughout the state. Battery electric bus pilots are going to begin in Waterbury, Milford, Middletown, and at the Yukon Stores campus. Battery electric paratransit vans will be launching as part of a pilot program in New Haven, Hartford, Waterbury, and Southeast Area Transit. And the conversion of the existing bus garage at the CT Transit Stamford division will continue. When completed, it's going to be the first bus garage in all of New England to have 100% fleet of battery electric buses. On the rail side, we're continuing to advance a lot of our major capital projects, including the replacement of the 4 large bridges along the New Haven line. We are in design on all of them, but construction on the Walk Bridge in Norwalk. We're also working on a capital program on the Hartford line, including construction of the Windsor Lock Station. We are in design of the Enfield Station, a new Enfield Station. And we are also looking to complete double tracking of the Hartford line from New Haven all the way to the state line in Massachusetts. Next, we are making our Waterbury line platforms more accessible by raising them as well as reconstructing them to make our rail system accessible for all. And of course, last but not least, we are continuing to finalize the design of 60 new rail cars, which will change the way customers throughout our state travel on our rail system. And then last but not least, we are moving forward with design of the Move New Haven bus rapid transit line, which will bring nearly 10 miles of high-capacity transit bus service to the city of New Haven and surrounding communities. And then last but not least, we're on this podcast, we have talked quite a bit about enhancing the customer experience, which we really call our North Star. We're continuing to actively survey all of our customers to find out what they are looking for in their bus and rail transit system. We will continue to do those activities in 2025 and, of course, beyond. This really promotes an outward-facing dialogue with the customers on the services that they are looking for, as well as the projects that will make their lives easier when using our public transportation system. As part of that, we are going to continue to advance the recommendations from the Connecticut Unified Fare Project to simplify bus fares throughout the state. And we are working on the planning to expand the tap and ride system mentioned earlier of bus systems statewide. Well, thank you for joining me in reflection on all of our achievements in 2024. While we celebrate these achievements, we remain hyper-focused on the work ahead in 2025. Opportunities abound to further enhance our already robust public transportation systems. By continuing to invest in these improvements, we can reduce the state's carbon footprint, improve our air quality, drive economic development, promote social equity, and strengthen the resilience of our transit infrastructure in the face of increasing natural disasters. Together, we look forward to building on our 2024 projects to create a more sustainable, equitable, and prepared future for Connecticut in 2025 and beyond. With that, I'd like to wish you and your families a very happy and healthy new year. I'm Ben Limmer. Join us next time for another episode of Along the Lines. Thanks for listening to this episode of Along the Lines. This is your host, Benjamin Limmer. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please remember to subscribe and share.